Trading futures and options on futures involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all traders and investors. Oftentimes in futures trading, you have a high combination of leverage and volatility. And although this could be an equation for opportunity, it's also an equation for risk. So be careful. Only fund your futures trading account with risk capital. My personal definition of risk capital is money I could afford to lose, doesn't change my lifestyle, or overly stress me out. As human beings, we make bad decisions when we're under stress, so be in a good spot. Remember, micro contracts could be friends. Take it easy on the day trade margins. You get plenty of leverage without maxing out on those day trade margins on a regular basis. We'll be taking a look at a real-time simulated live NinjaTrader trading platform today, and none of this should be construed as trade or investment advice. Past performance not indicative of future results. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Platforms Unleashed. That's platforms plural. There's more than one. We're going to cover all three of them today. My name is Jim Cagnina, and today is the 28th. Happy Monday, August 28th, 2023. Joining me behind the scenes is the wonderful Ed Jerkin. Ed is going to be, he's at headquarters right now in Chicago, and he's going to be he is able, and he will be answering questions that you may or may not have in the chat. And I only say you may not have because you haven't thought of them yet. But feel free to participate in the chat. NinjaTrader.com/events. You can go right there and you pop in. You don't have to log in or any of that stuff. You don't have to have an account. You can just go ahead and participate. So feel free to pop in there. Ed could answer any question Ninja related. And then on platform stuff, I'll shoot them over to me, and I'll do my best. So appreciate everybody being here. We've gone through the cycle, right? We've done. We started this show, I don't know, a couple months ago, and we went through the three different platforms. There's the PC-based platform, the one you download, the legacy platform that's been around, the award-winning platform, and the one most folks use. It's very robust, very powerful. We started out with creating several episodes, several segments. They're all archived on the YouTube channel. We started out with creating a workspace, setting up a market analyzer, which is the quote board, but it's way more powerful than the quote board. How to set up charts, understanding the control center, the anatomy of the Superdome, the trading ladder, the NASDAQ level 2 view, advanced trade management. Then we shot over to the web-based platform, getting started with the web, a general overview. And we did a show on working with the charts, which are also very handy. And then working with the DOM, which is exceptionally powerful as well. And then finally, we ended with the mobile app, and then to complete the cycle. And today it's kind of like we're going to wrap it all together today. We're going to put it all together today. And this is called 3 ways to trade, and there's 3 different ways to trade that we just described. So I'm excited about it. And why is it important? Well, everybody's different in this world. Everybody is unique in this world, and we have different preferences. We have different circumstances. We have different needs and wants. And so by having these 3 options, it's pretty helpful, right? The traditional PC-based download on a PC or a laptop or whatever workstation you have set up is the traditional way to do it. The web-based is particularly handy if you're trading from a web browser, which is also, it's a very powerful way to not only place trades, but to analyze trades. And then the mobile app, which is very handy as well. I have an iPhone 13, and I use the mobile app all the time. I was, as a matter of fact, I was at the beach on Thursday afternoon. That's right, I was at the beach. I'm in Charleston. I'm down here on the coast, and the market opens up. It's a 24-hour marketplace for the futures, and it opens up at 6 p.m. And I'm able to, I could tap in. I could, while I'm watching the surf, see how the market's opening, check out quotes, and place a trade if I have to. So it's if I want to. So it's very, very, very convenient to have all of these 3 things, and they're integrated. They're integrated together. They talk to each other. So that's also pretty handy. So I'm going to wrap up all 3 of the platforms just generally and show you how to actually place a trade on the platforms and field any questions that you might have as well. So thank you for being here again with me today. Let's start with the mobile app, right? Let's start with the mobile app. And again, I'm using an iPhone. I'm using an iPhone 13, I think. It's a small screen. It's not that big, but let's go ahead, Mission Control, and get that thing queued up here on the screen. And I have right now, I'm showing the trading ladder, right? This is the trading ladder for the E-mini S&P September 2023 futures market, which is, arguably the most popular market for futures traders. It certainly has a lot of volume, as you can see in the two columns surrounding the price ladder. The price ladder is in the middle. These are the price increments of the marketplace. And you can see we're trading around 28.50 to 28.75, right there in the middle of the market. On the left-hand side, you're going to see what's called the bid column or the buy column. And on the right-hand side, you'll see the offer column or the sell column. And you'll see a whole bunch of numbers in the bid column, and you'll see a whole bunch of numbers in the offer column. And that's basically showing you a direct access level 2 view, they would say, of the marketplace. It's showing the bids and offers that are at the CME group in their order book. These are limit orders that have already been placed and that are being canceled and replaced and added to on a dynamic basis. And one thing you'll notice right away is these numbers are trading quickly. They're moving rapidly, right? This is real-time data. It's streaming super quick. Data these days are measured in milliseconds, right? They're measured in I don't know how many milliseconds this is. Who knows? But with the cell phone technology and the iPad technology, the data is pumped in really, really, really quickly, and it gives you a really good, transparent view of the marketplace. As a matter of fact, it gives you a better, more transparent view of the marketplace than you would get with, let's say, a NASDAQ level 2 view of the equity market, right? Because it's not showing you the entire liquidity pool, right? No matter, depending on who your broker is. Here you're seeing the whole thing. And so, this, again, you could move things up and down with your mouth, with your finger, right? Everything is, when you're using a cell phone, it's your finger, right? You're touching it, you're moving it around, and but it works really, really well. And now for a guy my age to be able to use it, I mean, that's even remarkable. So right now we have the ladder here, and I just wanted to kind of remind everybody, how easy it is to actually place the trade. And I could scroll to a price that I want, or I could join the bid with my join the bid button, or join the ask with my join the ask button. If I wanted to take those away, I could do that by clicking on this the little hamburger button in the upper left-hand corner. I guess they call it a hamburger button. I don't know. I could add show buy sell market buttons. Let's do that just for fun. I have show bid, join bid offer already selected. And there's that little toggle switch, right? That little toggle switch, you just touch it. Underneath there, enable brackets. You could do simple OCOs, order cancels other types of trades, which is pretty sophisticated if you think about it on a cell phone. And I'm just going to tap back to the trading ladder, right? And you can see we added the buy market button at the bottom here for market orders, or the sell market button. Cancel all is right there at the bottom. So those are kind of quick click buttons that we have on here. Now, you could also just go ahead and pick a price, right? You could just click once and double click with your finger on the price. And I just sent a limit order, right? This is a live simulated account, folks. So it didn't go to the exchange. It went to our simulated exchange. But you could see there, I have an order there working. I'm trying to buy a contract, and just one contract, because that's what my default is set for, at a specific price at 46.26. And I'm in line. It's it's transparent. But it's on a FIFO basis. Remember, futures trading is on a FIFO basis, right? So if there's a bigger fish that wants to place orders, they can't get ahead of me. I'm number one in line. I will elbow them back to the end of the line if they try to cut. They can't do that. So we're trying to buy one at 46.26 right now. You could see that. You could see it actually graphically represented. I could tap it once and I could change it, right? I could kind of bump it up a little bit if I want. I could cancel the order altogether. I could bump it down tick by tick. And I could use, it's kind of a convenient way, especially if you're like, it's kind of hard if it's too small for you. These are really nice buttons to be able to kind of manipulate. If I want to go ahead and cancel, I'm going to hit that red X and I'm going to cancel it, and it goes away. So that was a buy limit order, right? That was a buy limit order. You could place a buy stop order above the market. You could place a sell order on the right of the market, and you have that kind of flexibility. And then again, I'm using two fingers now to kind of open and close and expand it, right? Expand the view. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and look at some other menu items, just the hamburger there is there. You click on that upper left menu, that triple line, I'm calling it a hamburger, and it opens up all of the different types of options that you have. on the actual app. You have you have markets, balance sheet. You could trade, which we just were on the trading screen. You could view your orders, all the stuff that a trader would want to see. So I'm just going to click on the markets, and I have my indices all in one column here. I added it. There's a nice little chart right there, which gives me some information. I could toggle sideways right here at that above the chart to get other options, including quotes, indicators, depth of market, a 500 tick chart, a volume profile chart, and the specifications of the market I'm looking at. And I can kind of move over and do a 1 hour, 4 hour, and I can kind of customize my peak. And so you can kind of see how handy this is, right? When I don't know, maybe you're not anywhere. Maybe you're at your workstation and you just want to have it on your cell phone. I don't know. If I'm in the supermarket, I could pop this up while I'm waiting in the checkout line. Because I can't do the manual one. I don't know if you guys could do the manual one where, it's self-serve. You go and you scan the barcode yourself. It takes me 3 times as long to do that than to wait in line. So I'm the guy who waits in line. I know I'm sidetracked a little bit. Sorry for that. But in any event, I have my quotes here. I have my charts here. I can see what's going on. So it's pretty darn handy for me. And then when you're on the chart, remember, there's a lot of smart buttons on the app. You hit the trade button here, and it gives you a trade ticket, old-fashioned trade ticket, where you set your quantity and your limit price and all the, if you wanted to go old school kind of way to place a trade. Or there's a little, at the bottom here, there's a series of buttons. There's that market expansion button. You click on that market expansion button with the 4 arrows in different corners, and then boom, you're back to the trading ladder there as well. So it's super nimble, super convenient, and it's chock filled with all the information that you want: your open positions, your closed positions, your P&L, and all the reports you could download on this particular app. Now, we covered it in detail the last couple of shows, so I'm not going to go through every single one. But again, I just wanted to highlight the convenience and the ability. And again, you download it like you would any app, right? Whether you're using an iPhone or an Android, or I guess they call them tablets or iPads. So it's really kind of easy to do. So I have my positions at the top. I have my open profile here. I can go back to my hamburger again in the upper left-hand corner. I could click on the orders button, look at all these orders that I placed today. I can scroll through them, and I could expand with the little drop-down caret and get more information on that particular order as well. So again, it gives me all the information I needed from what I'm doing on a real-time basis. So it's very, very handy. Balance sheet is another thing. It'll show me how great or poorly I've done. Today, my total loss is minus is red, $170.88. That's not so good. But then we have some more stats here, including my total cash available, my available net lick, which would be different if I had an open position. So, and then position tab is right next to it. Sorry, position tab at the upper top shows me positions. I had a position in the E-mini S&P. I'm flat now. It says my position is flat, and I had one in the micro NASDAQ, and it shows my position is flat. So a quick cancel all button, panic button is right there as well. You could cancel all as well. And it's a pretty darn handy application, if I do say so myself. It's pretty good. Once you download it and start playing around with it and do it in simulated live mode, you're going to get it and you're going to fall in love with it. All right, so now that's kind of number one. That's 3 ways to trade part 1 or A. Let's toggle over now and take a peek at. We're going to toggle over and take a peek at the web-based, right? You need a web browser, right? You don't have to download an application on a PC. You don't have to do that. Or a Mac, or you don't have to download anything. It's a web-based. And let's go ahead and take a peek at that right now. So as you might remember, this is kind of how my setup is. And I'm going to go through all the different modules. This is they're module oriented, which is super cool. And this is familiar, right? This is the trading ladder here. And I'm just putting my cursor on top of the trading ladder and scrolling up and down with my mouse. I'm not using my finger. I'm using the mouse instead. So that's one notable difference. But the modulars are pretty similar, right? So you have the trading ladder on the left, right? And actually, I have time and sales here. A lot of folks wouldn't use timer sales, but I think I like it. So I have time and sales here that shows me time and sales data coming through the platform. I have my quote board over here, kind of in the middle. And again, you could move these windows around any way you want, customize your desktop to make it exactly how you want it. You could have more than one chart open at the same time. You could, I have a tab, some tabs up here at the top, which would toggle between charts. But if you wanted to have them side by side, you could do that. And that's on my right. At the bottom, in the middle bottom here, this middle row, this middle area here, I have positions. Here's my positions. I bought 4 and sold 4 today. In the ES, I bought 3 contracts and sold 3 in the micro NASDAQ. So that information is at my fingertips. Now, if I had an open position, let's get an open position. And so we can see it change. Let's do that. I'm just going to buy an E-mini S&P at the market. I don't know. Seems like a good idea to do. I clicked on that buy market button there, and you can see my position is 1. It's green. It's 1 contract. It's green. That means I'm long. If this were red, it would mean I'm short. So I'm long 1, and my average price here, and it's not really my average price because I only have 1 contract. It is my price, 44.30 and a half. And my quantity preset was at 1. I could have changed that as well. And so now let's go down to that positions tab in the middle, and it shows me, hey, Jim, you are long 1 E-mini S&P contracts. And it shows, again, my open P&L, not doing so good on that one, right? So it's negative. This is my gross P&L, right? This is doesn't take into account fees or commissions and that kind of thing. So that's kind of moving around right there, and I can keep track of it that way. Orders down here, again, orders are populated here. I've got order status is filled. You could scroll all the way down, and you could see all my canceled orders. If I were going to have a working order, let's throw a working order in. Let's say my opinion right now is, all right, so I bought the 44.30 halves. You can see the little caret on the trading ladder on the left-hand side, and I'd like to sell. I hope the market goes up, goes my way, so I'm going to move over to my ask column, and I'm going to click once to sell a contract. Should the market get up to 44.32, I'm going to click once. I have a 2 lot in there, which means I click twice, so we'll cancel that. Click once. There we go. 44.32 even. I have an order there working to sell. So again, market goes up. That's my profit target as an example. And you can see here, my status is working on my orders tab, which is, again, pretty handy, I think. Again, to move things around, I'm just going to grab the tab itself, and I could position it to wherever I want, even within the tab of another window, and drop it, and it'll change the position of the window. So that's another handy tip as you kind of configure your windows to however you'd like them to be configured. The top part, that menu is static. That menu doesn't change, but you have all sorts of options, not only on the top, including adding a module, right? Click on that plus sign and it'll say, hey, what kind of module do you want to add? You could add any of these modules that you want, including a news module, activity log, any of these things. Again, I'd experiment with this in real-time simulated live mode to get the mechanics down, right? We want to get the mechanics down of how to use the software, the platform. I'm going to hit the X button there. Again, this is cloud-based, right? We're talking about the cloud. Everyone knows not the Ikamuchi cloud. That's a Tom Schneider, Mike Burke thing. We're talking about the internet cloud. How that works. It's not a downloadable PC. So again, scrolling across here, it's showing me my open P&L, my equity, my margins, how much margins I'm using. There's an application settings button I could click on right here, and I could change the appearance to light mode from dark mode. Pro tip here is use dark mode. It's easier to see, at least in my opinion. Auto roll I have enabled because remember in futures contracts roll over to future months every once in a while. I have notifications. Now this is really important. This notifications here, when you have a order, or let's as an example, you would like your order once it's filled to send you a text message as an example. It will send a text message. Hey, Jim, you're filled in an order. Maybe you have a limit order pretty far away from the market. You don't expect it to get filled right away. And so you could have all of these different types of notifications set, which are pretty good. And then hotkeys also, you could say hotkeys. So that's kind of the general settings here. On the right-hand side, way over here, we have other little buttons here. Click on the button, you get the news feed as an example. And this is pretty cool, actually. The news feed's pretty nice because it comes from investing.com, RTT News, And I don't know, I think it's very handy. It gives you, really some articles that are some news and articles that are really germane to traders, right? So this is kind of good, and you can click on the full article if you want to get more information from this article. You could keep it permanently displayed on your trading platform if you want. You could pin the layout. I'm going to close it up though for now, so I could show some more stuff. There's a chat feature here as well. There's a notifications feature. If you have notifications, that'll be highlighted. And then a report section. Let's click on that. Now, the report section is pretty cool because you could do some performance analysis. You select your date, and you have a range of dates you could select. If you just don't want to do a day, you could download it as a CSV file to do some analysis on it. You could download it as a PDF. It's a pretty good format. You could do performance. You could do orders. You could do position history. If we just do orders for today, I'm going to hit the go button. It'll show all of my orders here as well. And again, downloading it to CSV file could be helpful too if you wanted to do some Excel-based analysis here. And you see them all right there. So that's a pretty, in my opinion, an awesome feature, especially at the end of the day. It shows me my initial margin that was used, my day trade margin used, my maintenance margin used. It gives me all of this critical statistics that I need. I'm going to close it up. And we have community indicators. This is also sweet. It's kind of like the NinjaTrader ecosystem, right? You guys are familiar with that for the PC-based. You can scroll down. You could have keyword searches here, and it gives you all sorts of things that you could actually add, kind of like plugins, add-ons. And that's also a lot of feature-rich stuff here. The technology is really, really good. And then let's see what else we have. And that's it. And if you need help, there's a little help button here on the right-hand side. I'm not going to go through setting up charts and all that stuff. We already did that. We already did that in great detail a couple of sessions ago. So I'll leave you to that. And we're going to do it again. We're going to cycle through all of these different shows again on a forward rolling basis. So next week's off because I think next week might be a holiday actually on a Monday. I think it's Labor Day here in the States. So we'll probably go with the week after that, and we'll do creating a workspace again on the PC based. So let's kind of toggle over to the PC based, which is the third way. And some people, this is the primary way for many people. I'm going to minimize my web browser here. And here it is. And again, these things are all, they're all integrated together. Now I have a different SIM account than I did on the other two. So they're going to look a little different from a P&L point of view and from a trade point of view. Don't let that throw you off. When you have an account, then these will all be integrated together, right? So you'll see the same pieces of information on all three with respect to your positions, your realized P&L, and all that stuff. This is the web-based one. This is the one we use mostly on the See the Future show and the Bars Closing shows with me, Tom Schneider, and Michael Burke. And it's very robust, right? This is, I'm going to use the word award-winning because it is award-winning. I've been in this business for a long period of time. For those of you who know me, I started my career on the floor of the Board of Trade, 1980, 1981, something like that. And there was no screens, there was no computers, there was none of this. There were just guys yelling at each other. We've come a little bit more efficient over the years, and throughout that process, and I worked for different organizations. There was other trading platforms that we used periodically, starting from really the late 90s through the 2000s till now. NinjaTrader was an early adopter, right? NinjaTrader was an early adopter. It was created by really a visionary trader named Ray Day. Ray is the executive chairman still at NinjaTrader. And, he was frustrated. He's like, there's got to be a better way to trade. I'm going to make my own software. And this became this. And, what a vision it was. It's very, very robust, not only from customizing charts and data analysis, but also through the ability for third parties to generate additional plugins, we call them. You can go to the NinjaTrader ecosystem, just Google that, NinjaTrader ecosystem, and there's all sorts of really clever people that have developed, I'm going to call them third-party plugins, but other additional applications on technical analysis that are unique and in many cases powerful. So let's just kind of take a look at at how I have mine set up. I have a control panel up here at the top, which is it does a lot of, it doesn't look like much, right? When you first log into NinjaTrader, that's all you get. You're like, what is that? And it's blank, and it's like, huh. But once you connect, you're going to see your accounts here, series of tabs at the bottom, positions, executions, orders, strategies. All those tabs are very useful. At the top, you have menus, right? You have buttons up here for menus. If you want to open up a new chart, a new trading ladder, any of these things, options are completely available to you as well, including what's a pretty cool trade performance tab, time and sales, another as many trading ladders as you want, superdomes. They're called dynamic or static, a couple different flavors of superdomes, which is pretty cool. That's kind of menu number, drop down menu number. Drop down menu number 2 is the tools. There's a whole bunch of categories here in the tools. Again, we've already covered most of these in the other shows, but if you're brand new to NinjaTrader and you have a real-time sim account, or you're trying out a demo account, spend some time getting familiar with the mechanics. Workspaces, I have several workspaces that are saved, including top 5 indicators. That's what we're looking at right now. Connections, if depending on which data source you're connecting to, and then a pretty cool help feature, which, by the way, I know this is going to roll some eyes, right? This email support button here, you click on it, and you're going to get this little window up here. But the tech support here is with the platform people are so extraordinary. This will create a ticket. You will get a super speedy turnaround time to help with whatever question or email support, any kind of information that you would like. And then by creating your log files here, if you're getting some weird funky thing going on, you click that log and trace files, so the tech guys know exactly what you're seeing. Super cool. In any event, that's the control panel up here. And one other important thing, when you're done setting up your platform with the charts, with the market analyzer, with the Superdome, when you're done for the day, don't close any individual window. Close the control panel. Go all the way to the top of the control panel, that rectangle, hit that X button. That'll close everything for you, and it'll memorize everything you did, and it will memorize the positions of your windows on your screen, so you don't have the frustration of having to rebuild it and redo anything over again. So that's super cool. On the right-hand side is my market analyzer. We have data flowing in this market analyzer. It's like a quote board at first glance. It is like a quote board at first glance. I have all of my instruments categorized by asset class. Remember, CME Group has some great asset classes here that you could trade. It's just not the E-mini S&P, right? There's a lot of other stuff here that you could trade, including I have a couple of Eurex exchange out of Frankfurt, Germany, stock index futures, the Euro Stock 50 and the DAX on my quote board. And we also have all the regular suspects. We have micro stock index futures here, which is a smaller size or a different flavor or smaller size contract to trade, which gives you all the same power and punch with respect to liquidity and data speed as its larger cousins, which gives you also the ability to be granular, right? Instead of trading a whole E-mini S&P contract, you could trade 60% of one by trading 6 micros, right? So that's a really super keen feature that the CME Group came up with. These markets, energy markets, I'm thinking crude oil, heating oil, gasoline futures, natural gas futures are the big 4, I would say. And yeah, there's a micro crude oil contract. We have the currency pairs here, currency futures. For those of you who are trading over the counter Forex, once you start trading futures Forex, it's a whole different ballgame. It really is, right? The foreign currencies on the top, the numerator. The denominator is the US dollar, and most of these currency pairs, even though there is exotic currency pairs as well, but you have all the benefits of futures, a centralized regulated exchange. You have a transparent order book. There's only one place to go. There's no dark pools. There's no, alternative liquidity providers. I mean, you are literally in the market with the same market as everybody else. You're not paying interest by carrying positions over. There's no, 3 to 5 day settlement. These are all negative drag that you get with over-the-counter Forex. There's no market making. There's no, data feed manipulation that you might see with over the counter. So currency pairs there. Sorry, I went a little bit. I'm excited. I'm passionate about this. I'm excited about trading yen versus the US dollar. You got to get over the decimal points, but it's easy to do. We have the whole yield curve is available to you, right? Not only is the yield curve available to you, the 30-year all the way down to the Fed funds and everything in the middle, but you also have the actual yields themselves you could trade now. So you have the prices of the treasury securities, right? 30-year treasury bond, 10-year notes, 5-year notes, 3-year notes, 2-year notes, Fed funds themselves you could trade. And then you have the yields for the 10-year yield, the 2-year yield, and the 30-year yield. These are micro. This is a micro contract, and that's pretty cool as well. Metals futures, you got gold, silver, copper, platinum, you name it. That's very tradable. Cryptos, your crypto, no problem. We got cryptos covered from a couple of different exchanges as well. So you got Ether and you got Bitcoin and some others. Grains, traditional grains, old school grains, we're talking wheat, corn, oats, soybeans, soybean meal. And these things are in the news these days, right? We have some geopolitical tensions causing some trade routes to be and sources to be disrupted a little bit, and things are rerouting a little bit. On that note, by the way, tomorrow I'm having Sterling Sharp with me at See the Futures. He's a grain expert. We're going to be all over that tomorrow at the See the Future show. Sorry for the sidetrack. And so that's the market analyzer. Now you could customize the columns, and you could put actual indicators into the actual matrix or the grid. I have the average true range set up in this column. I have the ADX set up in the next column, and I have my stochastics set up in the next column, and they're color coded, right? If they reach a certain threshold, I want to see that color from green to red change. There's way more stuff you could do with the market analyzer. We've talked about this. We're going to continue to talk about it. I think that's will be the third weekend in September. We're going to cover this market analyzer. It's super, super handy. And then lastly, but not leastly, the trading ladder here. This again, I'm going to go ahead and center it. Right click, auto center. Remember, we talked about this. NinjaTrader is very intuitive. You right click on things, you get menus. You right click on things, menus pop up, and it's intuitive. It's really super intuitive. And you could, again, you could experiment with the real-time simulated live account, but I just checked auto center there. So I keep the action centered. I color coded mine to be team colors here with the red, the gray, and the orange, the gray, and the black. And that's how I have my trading ladder set up right now. I have it linked so that if I click on my market analyzer to a different market, then everything changes. My chart changes. You see that link I have here, orange link, instrument link, orange link, instrument link up here in these little squares. The same is true with my market analyzer. I want to change this to, we'll change it to a micro NASDAQ, MNQ. Remember, micros have M's in front of them. I'm going to click on that. Everything changes. It's really easy. I don't have to do any work. I'm a little older. I'm a little slower. So, less work, the better. And there we have it. I mean, we have a micro NASDAQ chart. We have a micro NASDAQ trading ladder there. It's all pretty slick. I know I'm going really fast. I'm trying to just sum this all up because we went into detail on all the other shows. We're going to continue to do these as we go forward. I do want to also suggest we have an open email box for any questions that you might have on anything. If you send an email to learn at ninjatrader.com, there's a lot of eyeballs on that inbox, and we will get back to you lickety split really quickly. So keep that in mind. Learn at ninjatrader.com. If you're not watching from our website and you want to participate in a chat, ask questions or chat with your fellow traders, especially during the opening range and bars closing shows, which bookmark the day every day, Monday through Friday, then you're just going to go to ninjatrader.com/events, the word events, and you'll be able to participate in the chat with questions, comments, observations, and trade ideas of your own, which is particularly helpful as well. All right, so we covered a lot of ground today, guys. We really did. So I know we have Ed Jerkin in the background here answering questions. Ed, appreciate you for sure. Take next Monday off. because it's a holiday anyway, but we're not going to be doing this, but we will be back the following week. Other kind of really big announcement, right? Other than, hey, we have bars closing, wrapping up the day at 3:15 later on today with Tom Schneider. But tomorrow is special. Tomorrow we have a really special event. It's so extraordinarily special. It's with Larry Williams. And Larry Williams, I'm old enough to know Larry over decades. And his reputation is that of extraordinarily knowledgeable in the futures trading space, maybe one of the most extraordinary knowledgeable people that we've come across. Larry's going to be with Tom Schneider tomorrow at Traders Workshop. And that's, again, tomorrow's Tuesday, if I have my days right. It was a long weekend, but tomorrow is Tuesday for sure. And that's going to be at 12 o'clock noon East Coast time. And I know most of you guys know who Larry Williams is. And, he is surely as close to legendary as you get. So we're lucky to have him. And he's going to be talking about some really interesting topics. Commitment of Traders report is one of them. He'll probably talk about seasonality and some other stuff and make some keen observations in the marketplace. So I would not miss that one. And I already talked about Wednesday with Sterling. Sterling Smith is going to be with me. All things are grains with Thursday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday afternoon we're going to have middle of the day. We're going to have the best of Anthony Credelli, Develop Your Edge. So that'll be pretty good. All right, folks. Having said all that, appreciate you being here for sure. And the most important message of the day: be safe out there. Be good to each other. Thanks for coming.